Hey everyone, this is week 5, which means we're going to have exam 1 available tonight. We will review for exam 1 at our next meeting. The exam will cover homework 1 through 4. Homework 4 is due today. The exam will also have questions from the first 3 quizzes. Well, the first 2 quizzes that exclude the assessment quiz. So quiz number 3 is due tonight. Everyone who did quiz number 2 did really well. And I want to mention that if you leave a question blank, I have to give 0 points. So even if someone put help, or I think I should do this, but I'm not sure, I gave at least a point or half a point or something if you wrote down something. So please don't leave anything blank. Even if you put down like a guess, it's better than nothing at all. In fact, I had a teacher once who told me she would give points if you write down what steps you would take if you got stuck, or if you drew a picture, if you kind of have an idea of what it looks like. Anything is better than a blank question. Okay, so I would say either guess or maybe if you get stuck and you kind of know what formula to use or what steps to take, you can write down what you would do. Or if you're posting your answers as a PDF, you could draw, even if you just share your scratch work with me, it's better than nothing. So if you could share scratch work or pictures or any ideas, it's worth at least a little bit. Okay. The test, I have a rough draft for, and I will have it up by midnight tonight, but really just start working on it tomorrow. So we'll say that is going to be, start working on it on the 29th. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to work on it in the middle of the night tonight, you can, but I suggest that you just start tomorrow. It's due Tuesday night. So we're gonna work on it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And it's going to be turned in Monday at midnight. So that's the 20th. Here. Saturday, Monday, the 4th, October 4th. There's no homework to work on during that time, just the test. Okay, I have more notes to do, and then I'll take questions if you have any from your homework or any concerns about the class, and see what we can do after. We left off with systems of equations. You can solve with graphing, substitution, or elimination. Graphing is not very accurate. It's easier when you have a computer, like your homework questions are kind of nice to work with when you graph your lines. But if you're just working out something on paper, I would use substitution or elimination. Okay. Steps for substitution. First thing you do is solve one of the lines for a single variable. Or sometimes maybe one of your lines is already has one of your variables equal to the rest of the values. So what you do is take that line from part 1, substitute it into a different line. It has to be some other line, not the line that you just worked with. Okay. So instead of put, you could say sub, like you can sub in that line into a different line, any other line that's on the list. Okay, and then there's going to be one variable to solve for. Okay, so either you get, or I guess you could solve, comma. Hopefully you'll get a value of the variable, which means you get a solution. Or maybe you'll get, we'll put down what happens. You'll get your x and then find y, or the other way around. Substitute, blah, blah, blah. If you can solve it, So part A. Number 2, part A. We're going to put solve. Okay, so either you're trying to solve this equation for a value of your variable, and you find the variable, and then you use that number and put it into any line from the system to get the other variable. Okay, in this case, your answer is some point x, y. Okay, part B is where you take one line, you solve for a variable, you put that into a different line, and then what remains is a true statement. In that situation, there are infinitely many solutions. There's one last thing that happens. You take a line and you solve for a variable, you plug it into a different line, and you get a false statement. That means that there is no solution. Cool. Okay, we need to practice. So let's try. Solve with substitution. I'm gonna just put this up. Okay, so most of our systems will have 2 lines, maybe 3 lines. This one has just 2. Let's see. Cool. The first one is 4x plus y equals 1. Next line is 3x plus y equals 3. Okay, so you pick any line. Let's see, I picked the first one. And we solve for one of the variables. Either one really, so I just happen to choose y. Take this one, work with it. So you pick X or Y to solve for. I'm going to solve for Y. So I would subtract 4x from both sides. And this side still has Y. And on the other side, it's, I'm just going to have 1 minus 4x, or you could put negative 4x plus 1. Either way. Okay, so now that I've got this top line solved for a variable y, I put it into the bottom line. So you can't put this back into here. You can put it into the other line. Or else you're going to go in a big circle and not get anywhere. So take this line, sub into the other line. The one on the bottom, that's 3x plus y equals 3. Okay, so you put this y value in right here for that y. It's replacing this symbol with 1 minus 4x. So y equals 1 minus 4x, and I want to take the bottom line and put that in there. Okay. Just check that I got that correct. Okay, looks good. So let's keep solving for x. Got these like terms, 3x minus 4x is negative x. And then I could subtract 1 from each side. Negative x is equal to 2. And then either multiply both sides by negative 1 or divide both sides by negative 1. But you need to cancel this negative with another negative. And I get positive x on this side equal to negative 2. Okay, you found one piece, x. Give me the other piece, which is y. You can put it into this line or this line. Either line works. Let's pick this one, the bottom line. Okay, so if you have 3 times negative 2 and then add y is equal to 3, find y. X value in here correctly. So this is negative 6 plus y equals 3. And add 6 to each side. I got y equal to 9. So there is one solution. It's the point xy with x is negative 2 and y is 9. So before we go to another problem, just state again that you take one line, solve it, you put it into a different line, that will give you a variable like x. then you can go back, pick any line you want after you get your variable to get the other one, y. We will solve a system by substitution. Our system will have two y minus 10x equals 4. And y plus 4 equal to 5x. So you can choose either line to solve for a variable. It's easier to solve for y from the bottom line. So I took this part, solve for y, and then substitute it into that part up there. So I chose the bottom line. You can solve for x or y, but it'll be really quick if we solve for y. So we could just subtract 4 from both sides. Y is equal to 5x minus 4. Okay, so this was our bottom line. We've solved for the variable y. Plug it into the top line. Y minus 10x equals 4. So putting this y replaced with that y, but this y equals that part, so we're putting 5x minus 4 right there inside of those parentheses. So it's 2 times y. Y is 5x minus 4. Subtract 10x equal to 4. I might put this back up soon, so I need space to do scratch work. But we need to solve for x. Let's distribute 2. Or, we're going to try to solve for x. But right now I've got 10x minus 8 minus 10x. So that's a positive 10x and a negative 10x, which leaves negative 8. And on this side is positive 4. Negative 8 equals 4 would be false. Create a false statement. That's when there is no solution. Excuse me. So you can stop there. That's your answer. Okay, we will do one more. I think. I put a note that when you have a false statement / no solution, it means that your system had parallel lines. The lines in this system are parallel. Next one. Solving by substitution. And your system has 2 lines. First line is y plus 3x equals 2. Next line is 2y plus 6x equals 4. So for me, I think that this line would be easiest, and it would be best or quick to solve this one for y. So I chose the top line. So you would have a minus 3x, minus 3x. Then y is equal to 2 minus 3x. Okay, that was the top line. So you do not put this back into that one. You have to put it into a different one. Substitute into a different line. Okay, so we're going into the next line with 2 times y plus 6x equal to 4. And replace y. Two times 2 minus 3x. And then we add 6x and it's equal to 4. Let's see what happens. Can we find x? If so, we'll go back here, pick either line to find y, or we'll get true or false. Okay, with 2 times 2 is 4, minus 6x, plus 6x, equal to 4. So this is going to be 0x. And you're left with 4 equal to 4. Oh, that doesn't look right. I don't know. You know what I mean. Positive 6x and a negative 6x is going to add up to 0. And we're left with a true statement, which means there must be infinitely many solutions. Oh, cool. Fractions? Cool, cool. Yeah, we'll make some fractions. But, we can do that. Thank you for the suggestion. First, this one's going to be infinitely many solutions. So we're going to do one with fractions and we're going to stick with substitution. Okay. Let's do this. Well, I'm going to pick one from the book. So just one moment. They can make it up. Let's give it a go. So let's say we had something like 1/2 y plus 1 equals. Let's do something cool. Okay, next time. Let's have one, or no, let's do one. Let's do 2/7. Oh, I need this to 1/4 x equals, what was here? 4. Okay, 2/7 y plus x equals, let's just stick with something kind of easy like 5/7. Okay, what we do is just First, change the system for x's like this one, like over a number. Let's go with something, let's go with like 14. Or even, stick with 14. Okay. So it's like fraction, fraction, number, fraction, fraction, fraction. So the first thing I would do is just rewrite the system where you've cleared all the fractions and then go to the steps like we've been doing. So start by clearing fractions. And you use the LCD. Like the LCD for this line, and then you go over to here and you find a new LCD for that line. Okay. The LCD for line number 1. We're doing scratch work. Okay, so you check out all of your denominators, 2 and 4, and I mean, if you want to, you can have a denominator here of 1. 4 is 2 times 2. So you take the most of any factor from each denominator. So the most you have of 2 is right here. And before we rewrite the system, let's get this LCD. The LCD for line number 2. Okay, first denominator 7, 14 is 2 times 7. And then there's another 7. So your LCD has 7, and in any denominator, there's just one of them. You also have a factor of 2, so you have to put that in your LCD, multiply them together to have 14. Okay. So you go to the first line, multiply both sides by the LCD of 4, which we're going to do here times 4, and over here times 4. So here's my big bracket, which I'm going to copy over. My top line is going to have 4 times 1/2 times y, which leaves 2y. 4 times 1/4 x. The 4 over 4 is going to reduce to 1, and all that's left is x. And then equal to 4 times 3. So on the other side, we've got 12. Similar idea for the second line, but multiply both sides by 14. So this side times 14. This side times 14 times 2 over 7. We'll do that on the bottom with some scratch. I'm going to factor 14 as 7 times 2. And then there's multiplied with this 2. This is over 7. Put this up 1. The 7 over 7 is going to reduce down to 1. And so what's left is 2 times 2. What's left is 4y. This time it's kind of easier. 14 times x over 14. The 14s cancel or reduce. And what's left is x. And then 14 times 5 over 7. Let's do that. Okay. 14 is 2 times 7. Multiplying with 5 over 7. 7 over 7 is 1. And so what's left is 2 times 5 over 1, which would be 10. And also, if you see any mistakes, please let me know. Okay, so now we have the same system. We've just cleared out all the fractions, and we're going to do substitution. I can pick either line. Either one's easy to solve for x. I can solve this one for x, or this one for x. Let's just take this line here, solve for x. So we're taking 4y plus x equal to 10. It's easiest to solve for x. Just subtract 4y minus 4y. X is 10 minus 4. Okay, when you go to plug this into the other line, keep working with the nice version of your system. You can go back to the beginning with all the fractions, but as long as you didn't make any mistakes, this system is just the same as that one. That one's easier to work with. So we're going to plug this into here. We've got solves this one, we're putting it in here, right there. So there's 2y. Add x, but x is this guy, 10 minus 4y. Subbed in our x value, and it's equal to 12. Let's see what happens. There's 2y. 10 minus 4y equals 12. I'm going to put this with that to get negative 2y. let's subtract 10 from both sides. Since I need space to do the scratchbook, I'm going to save this information, but we can probably put it back up on the board if we need to. Okay. Got negative 2y equal to 2. Divide each side by negative 2. So y is equal to, you've got a negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. Cool, I've got y, which means I want to find x. I could put this into, here, but it's super messy with all the fractions. So I'm going to get back the version of the system with no fractions. Choose one of our lines, and then we'll get to the answer. Come on, phone. All right, we've got 2y plus x equal to 12. And again, stop me if this isn't correct. And the other one was 4y plus x equals 10. So you're taking your y value, you can put it here or there. You're going to get an answer either way. Let's put it in here. 2 times negative 1, add x, and it's equal to 12. Okay, so negative 2 plus x equal to 12, and add 2 to get x equal to 14. Sweet, we got an answer of 14 comma negative 1. Okay. I need to give you instructions for how to do elimination, and then we can practice. And then I know that there are some homework problems that are a little tricky, so I hope we have time to do more today. If not, we got all of Thursday to just practice. And if you ever need time, like extra time on an assignment, just let me know. I can add an extension. Oh, also, I've had a few people ask about attendance. You don't have to worry about coming to the meetings. I appreciate having people at a meeting, but it won't hurt your grade. It's not part of your overall score. Okay, for elimination, you get both, or step one, get both equations in standard form. Okay, standard form looks like some number a, capital A, times a variable x, plus some other number b, times your variable y, and it equals some number c. So number times x plus number times y equal to number. Okay, number 2, decide which variable to eliminate. What we want is the coefficients of one variable to be opposites. Okay. Then add the equations together. Same for substitution is you get a solution, part A. You find your x, and then you put it into any line to get the y, and then you write your answer as xy. Or the other way around, maybe you get y, and then you go put y value into any line from the system to get x. Or you use elimination and you get something true. True statement means infinite number of solutions. If you're using elimination and you have a false statement, there's no solution. That's all that is possible. One solution, an infinite number of solutions, no solution. Okay, let's practice. The system has two lines. First line is x plus 4y equals 2. And the next line has 2x plus 5y equals negative 2. Okay, so you can either eliminate your x's or eliminate your y's. It looks kind of easy to eliminate x values because I can multiply the top line on both sides by negative 2, and then these will be opposites. Okay, so you don't usually have to write out so much scratch work, but just to be clear, I've chosen to eliminate x. By multiplying that top line by negative 2. And then, well, after that, I can add my equations together. Okay, over here. Let's go. This. Both of them by negative 2. Starts with negative 2x minus 8y equal to negative 4. Okay, what we do is copy this line down right below. Where we add them together, just notice how I've gotten these x values as opposites, negative 2x, positive 2x. And now I can add together, just one big old plus sign. And add straight down with negative 2x and positive 2x is 0x, or 0. Negative 8y plus 5y is negative 3y. Negative 4 plus negative 2 is negative 6. Okay, solve for y. Divide each side by negative 3, and y is equal to positive 2. Use that y value in either of your lines from your system. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go use the second line. It's kind of easy to read. Okay, 2x plus 5 times 2 is equal to negative 2. Got 2 2x plus 10 equal to negative 2. So if you subtract 10, we're at 2x equal to negative 12. Divide each side by 2. I have x equal to negative 6. And your answer is the point xy. So your answer is negative 6, 2. Solving by elimination. Four x minus 2y equals negative 1. And 3x plus 5y equal to 0. Okay, I can eliminate the x values by getting them opposites of each other, or eliminate the y values. What's kind of nice about the y values is this one's positive and that one's negative already. So you can just multiply this one by 2 on both sides, and this one by 5 on both sides. But there's a ton of different ways to do this. Another choice is to multiply both of these by both of these sides by negative 3 and both of these sides by positive 4. But I'm going to try to eliminate y. Okay, so if I want to get rid of those y values, I need their coefficients to be opposites. So I'm going to multiply the first line by 5 on both sides. Okay, 20x minus 10y equal to negative 5. Okay, we're going to multiply both sides of the bottom line by positive 2. You distribute the 2 to both of those terms. So 6x plus 10y And then you just add both of the lines together with a huge plus sign on the side. And going down this way is 26x. And we had set this up to get 0y, to eliminate y. And it's equal to -5. Divide each side by 26. X is -5 over 26. Use either line to find y. And I would go back to the original problem and use something like the top line. 4x minus 2y equals -1. Okay, it's a fraction, but we know how to find common denominators and things like that, so it shouldn't be too bad. We're going to have 4 times -5/6 5/26. Subtract 2y is equal to -1. Let's reduce this fraction right here. So 4 is 2 times 2. Got this -5 over 26, which I know is like 2 times 1, 3, 13. And I can reduce that 2 over 2 right there. It's going to be 1. And there's a -10 over 13 as my first term. Minus 2y equals -1. We've got it go soon, but so there's some different ways to keep going. You can add 10/13 to both sides, get a common denominator, keep going and solving for y. Or you can just clear that fraction out right now. We're going to multiply both sides by 13 to get rid of the fraction. Okay, so I would have -10 minus 26y equal to -13. Let's cancel. -26y. Keep solving for y. So we'd add 10 here and here. -3. Divide both sides by -26. And then that's going to leave y on this side. A negative with negative is positive, 3 over 26. And just as a side note, if you want to see if this reduces, you would factor 26, which we did earlier. It was 2 times 13. 13 is prime. These aren't going to cancel or anything, so this is simplified. So this is, this is my reduced fraction. And the answer is xy, negative 5/26, followed by 3/26. Okay, so you should be able to do almost all of your homework. There are some questions at the end that are kind of like word problems. That's where we'll start on Thursday, and then we'll do review for exam 1. Okay, thank you, everybody. Those are all the topics that you need to study for your test. And we're done for today.